revision of history. You are no doubt familiar with the quotation, "History is written by the victors to explain that those who triumph then rewrite what has happened to accord with their newfound supremacy." We bastardize that quotation. We rewrite history in order to ensure that we are the victors. History is rewritten in order to allow us to assert control over you and to obtain fuel. We change what has occurred in the past to control the now. We must be victorious. We have to win. We cannot stand to lose, as this threatens our sense of control. It, however, goes further than that. It is not just about wanting to win, loving the fact that we are winners, but there is that underlying need to win. It is imperative. This need to win manifests in numerous ways, which include always being in receipt of fuel, being the centre of attention, having our say first and for the longest, making sure we are heard above all others, getting the latest gadget or piece of technology ahead of our friends, family and neighbours, having the most attractive spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, partner amongst our social groups, having the best suit and tie, being the most senior at a meeting, earning the most out of our peers, having secured the best career out of those we went to school with, being the best at running, football, archery, chess, etc. Knowing the most about a particular subject, offering the best wine at a dinner party, securing the best seats at a theatre or restaurant, being acknowledged first in a group, bench pressing the heaviest weight in the gym, having the best sound system, knowing more famous people than our friends, securing tickets to a sold-out performance, winning the argument with anybody who tries to challenge us, ensuring our partner puts our needs ahead of theirs, getting served before anyone else, being able to drink the most at a party, ensuring everybody respects our quiet time when we're watching a film, having the most exuberant birthday bashes. There are, of course, so many more. Not all of these are always applicable, as, for instance, a cerebral narcissist will have little interest in ensuring that he can bench press the most weight at the gym, and the somatic narcissist is not at all bothered about being the local expert on the history of the town in which he lives. But each and every one of our kind will want to and need to secure the win. The win equates to the assertion of control and the extraction of fuel. This need manifests in the various lengths we will go to so that we achieve that win. We will boast, brag, manipulate, blackmail, coerce, cajole, sabotage, nobble, and bribe our way to the win. Nothing is off limits. The narcissist will do or say anything to obtain that win. If I can emotionally blackmail a friend into ensuring I sit in the lead funeral car with the family, ahead of any other friend of the family, then I will do it, if I deem that that is appropriate for the assertion of control. If I need to delete the files from a competitor's computer at work, so be it. If I need to ensure that I have control over you and our relationship, so that I effectively win, then I will unleash all relevant manipulations from my devil's toolkit in order to ensure that I win, and win again. The revision of history is one such manipulation that our kind utilize in order to secure this win and assert control. The revision of history is using the past to control the now, and also forms a part of gaslighting. What it is important to understand is that the greater and the ultra know that history is being changed, know that a deliberate lie is being told, but we do not care. The lesser and mid-range narcissists, forming the majority of narcissists, actually believe the events happened in the way that they are describing. This is because their narcissism operates in a way whereby it has to ensure that they have total conviction in what is being said. There is no room for doubt. The greater and the ultra have such evolved abilities that we can convincingly lie and maintain a steadfast approach to that lie. We are so effective at issuing this lie, there is no possibility of us wavering or faltering. The lesser and mid-range, if they knew that they were lying, they would be ineffective, hesitant, and therefore that would threaten the assertion of control and the obtaining of fuel. In effect, the narcissism of the lesser and mid-range narcissist doesn't allow them to know that they are lying, in the same way it does not allow them to know that they are being manipulative. The reason for this is that if they were given that awareness, they would not act as quickly or as effectively as is necessary as part of this self-defense mechanism, and therefore the self-defense mechanism would fail. In order for the self-defense mechanism that narcissism is to be effective, it must be instantaneous and complete. And therefore, that is why the lesser and mid-range narcissists are not allowed to know that what they are doing is a lie. Their lies are their truth. They genuinely believe that the events about which they are talking in the past happened that way. And hence, when you point out that's wrong, or you contradict them, or you say that did not happen, they cannot believe why you're saying that. They are not stood there thinking, well, I know I'm telling a barefaced lie and she's right, but isn't it funny to see her get all worked up about it? No. The lesser or mid-range narcissist is thinking, why on earth is she insisting that it happened in a different way to the way that it did? Is she mad? Is she crazy? Why is she always making things up? And this is where you get the projection from. The narcissist cannot believe that you are being so difficult. They believe that it happened this way. You are explaining that it happened that way. And of course, you become more and more irritated and worked up because you think he's telling a lie. And guess what? The lesser or mid-range narcissist is thinking exactly the same thing of you, that you are the one who is telling the lie. And this is because of the differing perspectives. You are looking at it from the majority empathic perspective. The narcissist is looking at it from the narcissistic perspective. The events have been rewired in the narcissist's mind so that it is happening as he explains it. And the way that you are describing it makes no sense to him. Hence, why the narcissist is insistent and saying, you're crazy, you're remembering it wrong, you're forgetting the details, it didn't happen that way, why are you being so difficult about this, why can you never believe me, why will you not accept what I'm saying? And they will continue to do that until you agree with them, and if you do not, then they will shift to a different assertion of control, more usually ignoring you, walking off, putting the phone down. The revision of history is a manipulation that utilizes altering the past to control the now, because that is what the narcissism is focused on, the control of now, controlling you in the instant. Imagine the life of the narcissist is lots of ribbons of 1 second each. And you and everybody else must be controlled second by second, and each time it enters a new second, the need to control starts once again. And differing methods of control can be used from ribbon to ribbon to ribbon. And to you, the responses may be inconsistent, but the narcissist will not see it that way, because each time the narcissism will rewrite history to ensure consistency in the mind of the narcissist. So, what are some ways by which this revision of history can manifest? Well, imagine I'm at a bar with some of my inner circle friends, and one of my friends, someone who served a purpose from school, brings up the occasion of the 100-metre sprint from the school athletics championships. Hey, HG, he says, you ran a great time that day, and you were only just pipped to the gold medal by that dude from LRG, weren't you? Now, this comment to me is challenge fuel. Because he's talking to me and reacting, he's giving me fuel. But he's suggesting that I came second. and therefore this challenges my control of him and other listeners. Therefore, it is incumbent upon me to assert control over him and the other listeners, and therefore I choose, because I am an aware narcissist, to contradict him. A lesser or a mid-range narcissist would do this instinctively, believing themselves to be right and not realizing that they are telling a lie. So I would respond, I think, Michael, you will find that I picked him to the title. Really? Are you sure? I thought he beat you. No, I beat him. Are you sure? Absolutely. I was actually looking back through my results at the weekend when I was clearing some boxes from the loft, and I was remembering how close the race had been, but how I'd overtaken that dude and beat him. Narrowly true, but I beat him all of the same. I could have sworn it was the other way round. No, you are wrong. I checked the times. I beat him by 0.2 of a second. I was never looking back at the results. I wasn't even in the loft. And as for the time, I made that up. But the extent of my intellect means that I'm able to do so quickly and convincingly. Then this friend says, oh, I see. He's given me control. He's backing down. I respond, yes, he was gracious in defeat. But I suppose you have to be when you don't win. Isn't that the case, Michael? And a little bit of provocation from me there at the end. Michael nods and accepts my point, since it was said with authority, conviction, and the backing of an apparent recent review of the result. Michael has now given me control. I actually did come second, but I'm not going to allow Michael to point that out in front of these inner circle friends. This was a challenge to my control. I rewrote history to ensure that I proved a point to him and ensure that I had control over those listening. And their responses also provided me with fuel. A further example might be a conversation between a primary source and me. Where have you been? Asked the primary source. Immediately, asking this question of me is challenge fuel. It is seeking to pin accountability on me by asking me to account for my actions, and thus it threatens control. What do you mean? I respond. Where have I been? You know where I have been. No, I don't. Yes, you do. I told you last week. No, you did not. I've been wondering where you've been. I was getting worried. Well, that is your own fault. I told you last week that I was going out this evening. No, you did not. I did. I remember specifically. I was searching for my shirt that I wanted to wear. You know, the blue one, which I bought recently, but you wouldn't help me look as you were watching some television program. You asked why I wanted the shirt, and I said I wanted to make sure it was clean and ironed because I was going out with Nathan and Paul. I don't remember that. But already there is a hesitancy. I've detected that the primary source is faltering. Well, I do, I say with conviction. I really don't remember you telling me you were going out. You probably didn't take it in. After all, you were pretty engrossed in your program. I offer a way out. Plausibility. Anyway, what's for dinner? And the conversation shifts onto dinner. This threat to control has vanished. And again, with plausibility, conviction, and the rewriting of history, because I never said anything about going out, but I rewrote that history to make it appear that I did, because then that asserts control over the primary source, removes your attempt to pin accountability on me, and allows the maintenance of superiority by being right. A further scenario is where I'm sat with a primary source in a restaurant. She asks, isn't that the woman who was obsessed with you? Indicating towards a lady at another table. Where? I answer. There, over there, just near the doors. What is her name again? Begins with an A, I'm sure. Who? I ask. The lady with the short brown bob. No, next to her, the one with the long blonde hair. Never seen her before, I say. Are you sure? She looks like that woman you pointed out to me. No, I deny. I do not know her. It's a damn good likeness. It is not her. It is her. She's coming over. The blonde woman comes over to our table. Hello, she smiles at me, ignoring the primary source. Fancy seeing you here. Sorry, I say. Are you talking to me? Yes. Hi, HG, how are you? Sorry, do I know you? Yes, we work together. No, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. Her downcast expression provides me with fuel. I was in the team that worked alongside yours. We went to Singapore, do you not remember? You might have worked where I worked. There's many people who did, but I don't know you, sorry, but if you wouldn't mind, we're about to order. Puzzled and upset, she slowly walks away. This provides me with fuel, and also I have asserted control over you. She definitely knew you, presses the primary source, again challenging me. Seems that way, but then I am well known, aren't I? I answer with a self-congratulatory grin. I am pleased that I rebuffed Samantha, the lady, who I knew full well, but it suited my purpose to rebuff her, to assert control, both over her and the primary source I'm dining with. I know she will try and contact me again to prove she knows me, and then I just may rewrite history again to confirm that I do, because in those circumstances it would suit me to assert control over her by confirming that I do know her. We engage in this manipulation in order to assert control over you. It allows us to confuse, bewilder, upset, brag, and thus maintain control and obtain fuel. We will rewrite history so that we avoid blame, gain kudos, claim achievements that are not our own, make us sound better at what we've accomplished, to evade liability and accountability. It comes within gaslighting as you start to find your memory is fallible. We have no hesitation in confirming something happened when it did not. We will change events, add things, and take them away, so long as it suits our purposes. If you present us with some independent evidence that contradicts us, we will not shift our position in terms of maintaining history, is how we decree it. Instead, we will shift to an alternative manipulation in order to deflect and deny your attempt to challenge our version. And ultimately, if you will not back down, we will shift to a different assertion of control, invariably withdrawing in some way. Even the most obvious of events will be erased, amended, and added to. Nothing is safe from our treatment of how things were. If it serves a purpose for us to alter history one way or another, then we shall do so. But how do you deal with this? First of all, recognize that this is what is happening. Understand that this is a narcissist manipulating you. Of course, if you realize that you're with a narcissist, you should be in a no-contact position. However, if you are not, then state your position once so you know that you have stated it, and then move on. It is pointless continuing to try and argue with us, because all we will do is continue to deny what you are saying and assert control over you by the maintenance of this revision of history. The rewriting history is designed to assert control over you, to draw you into an argument, make you try to convince us that you are right and we are wrong, although you'll fail, to make you erupt in frustration or anger or tears, which provides us with fuel, to bewilder you so that you keep accepting that we are correct, and thus we have control over you. And ultimately, it is of the collateral consequence to ensure that little by little, you eventually always accept what we say and submit to this particular mind game. Conversations will be recalled in a different manner. People who did not attend will have attended whilst others vanish. Events play out in a different manner once they have been subjected to this achievement. We change history. That is how powerful we consider ourselves to be through the application of this particular manipulation.